Hey, Cowboys Nation! Today we are diving deep into everything happening with your Dallas Cowboys as we navigate the final stretch of this season. The excitement might not be at the same level as earlier in the year, but there's still a lot to watch, analyze, and get excited about, especially when it comes to seeing which young players can step up and make a name for themselves in these last games. We are not just talking about minor contributions. There's real potential for some of these athletes to define their roles heading into the next season. For this segment, I want to focus on the players who should get more opportunities to show what they are capable of while keeping an eye on the bigger picture for the team's future. Let's start with the wide receivers. Ryan Finnoy has emerged as a reliable option and clearly holds the position of wide receiver 3. There's no need to overcomplicate things or shuffle the pecking order unnecessarily. Finnoy has shown that he can handle consistent targets and contribute meaningfully to the offense, so keeping him in that role makes sense. Jonathan Mingo and Kavant Turpin, while talented in their own right, have not shown the same level of impact, so the focus should remain on giving Finnoy meaningful playing time to develop further. This is not just about the rest of the current season. It's about cementing Finnoy's role as a dependable piece of the receiving core heading into 2026. The last thing you want is to overlook a player who has the potential to grow into a key contributor because the team is caught up in reshuffling veterans who may not offer the same upside. Shifting to the defensive side of the ball, the linebacker core has been a source of constant concern throughout the season. The group has struggled with consistency, and at this stage, it makes sense to begin experimenting with younger players who have shown potential. Shamar James and Maris Leaf are two names that deserve attention. Both have the physical tools and instincts to grow into significant roles, but they need opportunities to get snaps in real game situations. DeMar and Oversh, who have been consistent contributors, will continue to see playing time, but there is little value in relying on Kenneth Murray for every situation when his instincts have not consistently translated into impactful plays. Redistributing some snaps to James and Leaf allows the coaching staff to evaluate who can be a cornerstone of the defense moving forward. Even Logan Wilson, who is under contract next year, could benefit from a slight increase in snaps, giving the team a clearer picture of its linebacker depth chart. At the end of the day, these adjustments are not just about wins or losses in the short term. They're about building a more reliable and dynamic defense for the future. Moving to the offensive line, injuries have created an opportunity to experiment with combinations that might prove beneficial long-term. Tyler Gayton and Nathan Thomas represent two pieces that could be tested in different configurations, especially with the right tackle spot in flux. Terrence Steele has delivered solid performances, but evaluating Thomas in meaningful game situations will help the coaching staff understand whether he has the capability to step into a starting role. It's not just about the current lineup. It's about identifying who is capable of sustaining success and providing stability on the line moving forward. With the right experiments, the Cowboys could find a combination that solidifies both sides of the offensive line and reduces the reliance on uncertain veterans in the tackle positions. Edge rushers are another area where opportunities for younger players must be considered. James Houston has shown promise in limited action, and with defensive ends like Sam Williams and Dante Fowler not consistently producing, it's worth seeing if Houston can elevate his game and provide meaningful contributions. Houston's contract status next year makes this an important evaluation period, as the team will need to make decisions about who to retain and who to move on from in the offseason. The end goal is to develop players who can consistently pressure the quarterback, defend a run, and provide versatility in multiple defensive schemes. The experimental phase in these final games is less about immediate wins and more about gathering information on player capabilities, growth potential, and positional depth. Tight ends also deserve a closer look as the team navigates the end of the season. Luke Schoonmaker made a remarkable one-handed catch recently, showing flashes of playmaking ability that suggest he could contribute more consistently if given the opportunity. Brevin Spanford is another player who has shown potential, but has had inconsistent performances. The remaining games provide a chance to see how these two can operate within the offense, develop chemistry with the quarterback, and ultimately define the pecking order for the position heading into training camp next year. These evaluations are crucial not only for the current team, but also for planning the long-term offensive strategy and understanding who can emerge as a reliable contributor in key situations. Defensive tackles represent another position where experimentation could yield important insights. Perion Winfrey has spent much of the season on injured reserve, but now could be the perfect time to see what he can do on the field. With injuries impacting the defensive line, giving Winfrey meaningful playing time allows the team to determine if he has the ability to contribute in future seasons or if other options should be prioritized. It's a simple equation. Opportunity reveals potential. Whether he excels or struggles, the coaching staff will gain valuable information that will influence roster decisions and offseason planning. Safety is yet another area where younger players should be given the chance to shine. Maris Bell and Elijah Clark represent potential long-term contributors who have not yet received consistent playing time. Donovan Wilson's contract situation and L. Hooker's uncertain future make it essential to test the depth at safety, ensuring the team has capable options for the next season. Julius Wood from the practice squad could also see snaps to further evaluate the developmental pipeline. Playing these younger athletes is less about the current record and more about preparing for a season where the Cowboys can rely on a robust and versatile roster. Finally, the running back position deserves attention, especially with Jaden Blue. Drafted in the 5th round, he has had limited opportunities and mixed results, but the final stretch of the season could provide the perfect chance for him to earn meaningful playing time. Malik Davis could also see limited snaps, adding depth and versatility to the backfield. This is about development, opportunity, and evaluation. Players who perform well in these moments may solidify their roles and open doors for future contributions. The last games of the season are as much about identifying the next wave of talent as they are about competing for wins, and that dual purpose makes every snap, catch, and tackle critical for the long-term health and competitiveness of the Dallas Cowboys. As we continue breaking down the Dallas Cowboys roster and evaluating the opportunities for the final games of the season, it is clear that there are multiple areas where experimentation can reveal both weaknesses and hidden strengths. One area that deserves attention is the linebacker rotation. With the veteran presence of Demar and Oversh providing stability, the question becomes how to integrate younger talent into the lineup to prepare for the future. Shamar James and Maris Leaf are perfect examples of players who could benefit from additional snaps. Shamar James has shown bursts of athleticism and instinctual play that could flourish with consistent exposure, and Leaf has physical tools that make him intriguing in a variety of defensive packages. The end of the season provides a relatively low-pressure environment to test these players against live competition, allowing the coaching staff to assess not only their abilities, but also their potential for growth and adaptability in the NFL. The challenge with integrating young linebackers lies not just in physical performance, but in decision-making and football intelligence. Kenneth Murray, despite his experience, has struggled with reading plays and filling gaps correctly, and at this point in the season, there is limited upside to maintaining his full snap count. Redirecting these opportunities to players like Leaf and James gives the team insight into who might become reliable contributors next year. Even Logan Wilson, who remains under contract, could see a slight redistribution of snaps, helping to maintain a baseline of experience while allowing for development. These final games are a testing ground, a chance to determine how the defense can evolve and what personnel will form the foundation for a more effective unit in 2026. The offensive line remains a critical area for experimentation and evaluation. Injuries have forced the coaching staff to consider new combinations, particularly on the right side. Tyler Gayton's absence has left an opening that Nathan Thomas could fill, providing the team with data on his capabilities as a potential starter. Terrence Steele has performed admirably, but the team cannot rely solely on his presence to carry the line. Evaluating Thomas at right tackle, alongside Gayton or other combinations, will help determine if the Cowboys have internal options capable of sustaining success or if they need to explore free agency or the draft more aggressively. Understanding the strengths and limitations of the offensive line is crucial as it directly affects the quarterback's performance, the running game, and the overall offensive efficiency. The final games of the season serve as both a practical and strategic evaluation period for this unit. When considering the defensive line, James Houston is a player who stands out as an underutilized asset. While Sam Williams and Dante Fowler have failed to consistently impact games as pass rushers, Houston has shown flashes of playmaking ability that suggest he could be an important piece if given the chance. Evaluating him in different scenarios, including third-down pass rush and situational runs, allows the team to see if he can consistently contribute at a higher level. His contract status next year makes this an essential evaluation. Identifying players who can reliably pressure the quarterback or stop the run will determine the Cowboys' approach to defensive line personnel in the offseason. The coaching staff must weigh not just immediate performance, but long-term potential when allocating snaps to players like Houston, balancing present needs with future considerations. Tight ends also present an interesting area for development. Luke Schoonmaker's one-handed catch and subsequent run showcased his athleticism and ability to make plays when given the chance. Brevin Spanford, though less consistent, also deserves opportunities to see how he performs in a variety of offensive situations. The remaining games of the season are the perfect chance to evaluate how these two players operate in tandem with the quarterback, how they contribute in blocking schemes, and how they fit into the offensive rhythm. Determining the pecking order at tight end is crucial for planning future offensive strategies, and these final contests allow the coaching staff to experiment and draw meaningful conclusions about who can be a reliable second or complementary option. Their development during these games can have a direct impact on the team's offseason priorities and roster planning. Safety is another position where experimentation is necessary. Maris Bell and Elijah Clark represent young players with potential who have yet to see significant playing time. With the contracts of veterans like Donovan Wilson and L. Hooker uncertain, now is the ideal moment to assess the younger talent. Allowing these players to take on meaningful snaps gives the team a clearer understanding of the depth at safety and identifies who might be a cornerstone in the defensive backfield moving forward. Bringing up practice squad players like Julius Wood for limited opportunities also provides additional data points for evaluating potential contributors. Giving younger players this type of exposure is critical, as it informs decisions for the next season and ensures the team is not overly reliant on veterans whose time with the team may be limited. Running backs remain an area of both experimentation and opportunity. Jaden Blue, drafted in the 5th round, has had limited playing time but represents a potential future contributor if he can demonstrate reliability and effectiveness. Malik Davis could also be utilized sparingly to evaluate his ability to complement the backfield. The final games allow for an honest assessment of who can contribute consistently in both rushing and passing situations. These opportunities are not just about immediate impact. They provide insight into the long-term planning for the position, revealing which players can be part of the team's core moving forward. Development at running back is essential, as the Cowboys seek to balance depth, versatility, and explosiveness in the backfield. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Whispers around the NFL world have taken a sharp turn toward the Dallas Cowboys, as one of the league's most outspoken analysts, Stephen A. Smith, recently ignited speculation about the franchise's internal chaos. According to Smith, the Cowboys are nothing short of a disaster, and he pins the blame squarely on team owner Jerry Jones. While some might shrug off such commentary as typical sports talk show hyperbole, the intensity of Smith's critique has stirred intrigue among fans and insiders alike. The suggestion that Jones, a figure synonymous with both the business and football sides of Dallas, could be the root of the team's struggles is provocative. Smith's commentary hints at deeper operational issues, suggesting that decisions at the top may be undermining performance on the field. Questions are now circulating about whether the franchise's direction under Jones is truly sustainable, or if the legendary owner's hands-on approach might be backfiring. Could it be that a combination of management missteps, strategic disagreements, and personnel choices is creating a perfect storm for dysfunction? Sources close to the Cowboys organization, who requested anonymity, have whispered that locker room morale may be fraying under the weight of external scrutiny. Players and coaches, accustomed to high expectations and media attention, reportedly find themselves in a pressure cooker environment, where every move is dissected and every loss magnified. The rumor mill suggests that some in the front office may be reconsidering long-term strategies, questioning whether leadership changes are necessary to realign the team with its championship ambitions. Meanwhile, fans on social media are taking Smith's comments as both validation and warning. The Cowboys' passionate following has a history of oscillating between hope and frustration, and this latest critique has reignited debates about the franchise's identity. Is Jerry Jones' hands-on style a blessing or a curse? Are the team's current struggles the result of external competition or internal mismanagement? The speculation is spread like wildfire, with analysts, bloggers, and fans weighing in on every angle. While no official response from the Cowboys has emerged, the ripple effects of Smith's bold statement are undeniable. The franchise, known for its high-profile culture and deep-rooted history, now finds itself at the center of a swirling narrative that could define the offseason. For now, the conversation continues. Can Dallas reclaim its footing, or are the whispers of internal chaos a harbinger of a prolonged period of instability? In a league where perception often matters as much as performance, this rumor alone may be enough to keep the spotlight fixed squarely on Jerry Jones and the Cowboys organization. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.